on, everybody? Welcome back to the movie pod. Now, Joseph is finally joined by us once again.
I'm
It's been a few
back.
episodes. I do admit I did a few by myself. I did the Jedi Survival breakdown trailer by myself and the
Yeah,
Bad
yeah,
Batch
I know.
episode because, mate, you're not caught up to Bad Batch, are you? You're slacking
Ah,
a bit. I will tell you this now. It is getting good. It is getting good. The show is getting good, and it feels like the season is only starting now when we've got 1 week
yep.
left. Literally, we
Oh, of
have
course, of course.
episode 15 and 16 come out literally tomorrow, the time of recording this. And yeah, but hey, you gotta get to it. It's getting good. It's finally getting good. But
Alrighty.
no Star Wars today, guys. We're going back to one of our favorite things, the Fast and the Furious. It's approximately around, well, it's not 9 weeks anymore. It's about 7. We're a bit behind schedule on the movie pod here, but Road to Fast X starts here. So every week now we're going to be releasing a review on every Fast and Furious movie except Hobbs and Shaw. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and before number 10 comes out, and then it will when number 9, when our review of Fast and Furious 9 comes out, the next week will be our review on Fast and Furious 10. So yeah,
Yep.
it's about 7 or 8 weeks now. We'll also get our Too Fast, Too Furious review out this week as well, so we get caught back up. But yeah, the road to Fast X starts here. So, the Fast and the Furious review. I don't know how we're going to do this review. Seen it many quadrillion times, of course.
So many
Um,
times.
and we're obviously going to forget like a lot of stuff we're going to say. So we're just going to, go through these movies when we do our review. Just how they've changed future movies, when they start to get stupid, what's good about that one, what's good about this one. So the Fast and Furious one, the original, 2001? 2001. This movie is my favorite
Yes.
Fast and Furious movie. I absolutely love the Fast and Furious. It's the first one. It's a story. It's a story. It doesn't set up anything. It just jumps into crime, car racing, the car culture, street car culture. It's got a really cool, undercover cop, but he loves street racing, and that gets him in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
His backstory, Brian O'Connor, of course, who goes by the name Brian L. Spilner, in the police force when he's undercover. He races Dom. All of it happens. We know how it goes, and I feel it's such a good movie. The relationship between Dom Toretto and Brian O'Connor, and then Mia Toretto and Brian O'Connor from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. I feel like it's done really well, especially between
Yeah.
Mia and Brian. They always had a connection, and their connection
Yep.
stayed strong throughout the whole entire franchise. It's probably one of my favorite movies for a start of a franchise. The first ones are always so, they're the miracle of the
Important.
franchise. They're so important. So magical. They're like, yeah, very important technically. Like over there is so important. And Fast and Furious, the first Fast and Furious movie, is one of my favorite starts to a franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a start to the Fast and the Furious, as we know. Now it's a bit crazy. Definitely shouldn't have 10 movies to it, but it does. And you go
Ah.
watch number 1, and then you go watch number 9, and well, a lot has changed in between them. It's crazy how
It's
fast they did
actually
change.
unnoticeable. Like it's you wouldn't. If
Yeah,
you didn't look
if
at the
you,
titles of the movies, it'd be really hard to tell them apart
I,
and be like,
I
wow, there are a lot of the
agree.
same actors in this movie.
I agree with you there. Um, yeah, like it's a great movie, and my favorite Fast and Furious movie. I know it's not yours. Isn't your favorite's 5, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one up there, of course. Yeah,
And two. Two's pretty good too.
and two's good. Yeah, number 1, 2, 5, and 7's my top 4. Tokyo Drift, I love that one. That's the kind of the underdog, but also not, because some people
I
only
watched that
like Tokyo.
recently.
Yeah, I love Tokyo Drift. It's always a fun watch. They're they're kind of arguing over an iPod in 2015, because that movie is set
Yeah.
in 2015. But hey, it is what it is. Um, it's a fun movie, and the whole franchise. The Fast and Furious first one, 2001. It's set. It was a lot different. How big the franchise has gotten off a street racing car community movie is very big,
Yeah.
because
And
it's really limited at one audience.
It
I
is.
think that's where all the
It's
action
so
has.
2000s as well.
Yes, and I think that's where the action, with all of the stupid action that's came into the franchise, has really grown it. I think. I think a lot of people don't like it, but I think without all that action, it wouldn't be a lot. It wouldn't still be making movies now because action movies draw in everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also a series that hasn't existed in a
yeah.
book form.
Book form, any other form
Like,
really. There was the video, not a video game solely. It was kind of a cross. It was a crossover with Forza Horizon. Nothing special. There was that TV series on Netflix, Fast and Furious Drag Races or something like that. I
yeah.
watched the first episode. It was alright. I don't think it's canon. Um,
But for like big series, like
yeah,
say
it's
Lord of the Rings or
totally.
Harry Potter, they come from books.
Mhm.
Whereas this, it's not as loved and it's not as like
Nah,
big, but it's still a long lasting
yeah, to have 10 movies and only
series.
10 movies, yeah, it has one spin-off, but it really doesn't have it. It doesn't have any TV show spin-offs, video game adaptations, novel adaptations, and really
Exactly.
every big franchise nowadays does. Look at Star Wars. Oh my god, everything. Novels, comics, shows, movies, video games. Marvel, same thing. DC, same thing. As you said, Harry Potter, same thing. The new Harry Potter game. Lord of the Rings, same thing. So many books, so many movies and shows. Um, Game of Thrones. So many
Yes,
of
Game
these
of
big
Thrones is a big
things.
one.
Um, and Fast and Furious sticks to the
The
movies.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. There's
That was
everything
a
now
comic book
big,
series
massive,
before.
and Fast and Furious stays to the movies. So for it to be as big as it is, when originally targeted at one small audience and only is in really one form of media, is quite big.
It is.
Because I can guarantee you, no one came to the Fast and Furious franchise from watching the drag races animated show on Netflix or watching, or playing the little Forza thing. No one came to the franchise from those. They came from the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Fast and Furious. It's, as I said, my favorite Fast and Furious movie. Not by a mile. Well, yeah, you know, I didn't even mean to do that. By a quarter mile. Yeah. No, but it's all about family, and it's got a
Oh,
good
stop it.
story. It's got a good story. I absolutely love it. Of course, the franchise has gotten a bit stupid, but I love it. I'm very excited for number 10. Um, yeah, this is the Road to Fast X. Overall, the
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious one started it all, and I give it a 10 out of 10. Dude, I
I couldn't
think
give it a
it's
10 out of 10. I
I
think,
that's fair. I just think it's a masterpiece of a movie. It was such a great like one-off movie. You can watch this as a one-off movie. That's what I like about Tokyo Drift.
yeah.
You can watch that as a one-off movie as well. Same with number two, maybe, but the rest you can't really. I mean, you can, but you wouldn't be as engaged. Um, yeah, and there's a solid 10 out of 10 for me. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that. The Fast and the Furious isn't a 10 out of 10 movie. Well, man, to me it is. It's a good movie. The Fast and the Furious, the original one, is a very good movie, in my opinion. Of course, I'm a big car guy, especially street car guy, and it's we don't have many movies of car community, like especially street car community, and
Yeah.
yeah, it has crime in it, of course, because street racing's illegal. Brian O'Connor obviously is my favorite character in the Fast and Furious franchise. Basic, but he's my favorite character. Um, Paul Walker, of course, a movie that made him big, and a movie that made us love him more. Um,
Yeah. This
I
was
think
like Paul Walker's big movie, and
it was.
this is one of Vin Diesel's bigger movies. He was in Riddick
He was in
first.
Saving Private Ryan. He's been in quite a few
Yeah.
big things. His first big one was Saving Private Ryan. He was in
Yeah, it was 96. Triple
Triple
X,
X,
and then Riddick.
Riddick, and then
He
Fast,
was
and now
2000s. He was doing really well.
he was, and now he's in Marvel. He plays Groot. Dominic Toretto plays Groot. Well,
Probably the easiest role in Marvel. I'm not gonna lie.
he probably recorded his one line, "I am Groot," and then yeah, that's it. They
Grabbed his
just put that
paycheck and
into the
left the room.
archives. Yeah. Um, No, I love it, and it definitely started off the franchise great. It's a very different kind of Hollywood movie. if you want to call it a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Um,
It was very
it's
low budget as well.
it was, but it
For
was,
all it gave, it was a very low budget.
and
I
it
think
had.
most of the movies have been low budget up to probably about 5, I'd
Bro,
say.
that's funny. Bro, number one, a very low budget, and then number 10 is the second highest budget of a film ever. Ever. That kind of has me worried that Fast X is the second highest budget to a movie in history. That's
That is
crazy.
kind of worrying.
That a Fast and Furious movie, a movie about cars and family. Well, I guess it's not anymore. You know, they're gonna go on a big adventure and save the world once again from God only knows what. They're gonna go to Mars this time, guys. They're
Time
going to
travel.
Mars. They're going time travel. Yeah, that's how Gal Gadot's coming back. Time travel, guys. They're gonna bring everybody back.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Dom's gonna bring his dad back. He's gonna go time travel him. You know, world between worlds, pull him out just before he crashes. Yeah, it's into meaning.
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
Yeah,
World between worlds.
you know, Fast and Furious. It is. It. I love the franchise. Number 7 is my second favorite movie, and that's number 7. That was only 2 movies ago, and yeah, so it definitely does get stupid. I wouldn't say it gets stupid. It gets it goes
Unrealistic.
away, unrealistic, and it goes away from its origins of what the franchise was meant to be. So yeah, you know, it's the original. It has a place to stand within the franchise, and I absolutely love it. My favorite. But Joseph, overall, what would you what would you give it overall? You know,
I don't know. Like, I'm halfway through. I was rewatching it for this reason today,
mm-hmm.
and I got halfway through it. Not really halfway. I'm up to the part where they get up to Johnny Tran, which is the
Right,
antagonist
right.
for this.
Bikes and all that.
Yeah.
That was a cool, nice
I'm pretty
thing.
sure they are. What are they called? Not Yakuza. It's not Yakuza.
Oh, it starts with Y.
It's the Chinese gang.
Yeah.
And they yeah. So Dom and them already have some problems. They're pretty good antagonists.
Yeah.
They end up killing Jesse, who was a really cool character. All the characters in here are really cool. Like Letty gets a little bit of light. Leon, it's the first time we see Leon, and it's the only time we see Leon.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, introduction to everybody. Brian, Mia, Dom, the importance. And Vince. So it's all, like, I think for a nostalgic reason, obviously, the cars as well. Like,
I agree. And I
the
think
the Eclipse, the green Eclipse at the start, the red
Dom's
RX-7,
Charger,
to then Dom's Charger, to then the
at the end
the
when they
famous
jump over the train tracks,
train
and the trees
tracks,
behind
yep.
them, and then Brian gives him the keys to his car so Dom can get away. And
to
Brian,
the Supra.
yeah, Brian
I think it's a
risks
98
his whole
Supra.
career. The police chases as well at the start of the movie with the first big car meet.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Really cool. Yeah, it's a great movie. I give it a 10. I think it's a perfect Fast and Furious movie.
I give it I give it a 7, but that's
dude.
only
Dude,
the
okay.
only reason is because what I think Fast and Furious 1 does, 2 just does it better. Like Fast and Furious 2 just takes everything that 1 did good.
A lot of people would
and did it better.
With you. I somewhat agree with you. I love 2. 2 is very underrated. Roman's up there, probably my favorite character, tying with Brian. Otherwise my second favorite, or even favorite character of Fast and Furious. So I definitely love 2. We'll get into 2 in our next review. But the first one for me is it's this perfect movie, and I love it, and it's so different to other Hollywood. And yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. But that's really all.
I think it's a 7.5.
I respect your opinion, but you're being drunk. I'm joking, guys.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, no. But yeah, I love the movie. It's his perfect movie, I think, for the start of the franchise. It was so different to other movies at that time, even now. And it's a shame to that it's full of only action, but it is what it is, and I love the franchise, and it's all about family. So let us know what you thought. You stuffed me up. Alright? Let me do this.
Yep, okay.
And it's all about Family. Alrighty, guys.
Hoorah.
Let us know what you think of the Fast and the Furious. Number 1, 2001. Let us know what you think. Do you like the Fast and Furious movies? Are you excited for Fast X? Because the road to Fast X starts here. Anyway, see you in the next review. Too Fast, Too Furious. Alrighty, guys. And remember, it's about family.